Hey, Gloria, how's everyone doing? So if everyone wants to hop into Canvas, actually share it in, I'll share it in Discord. Well, we're going to be modeling the palm tree in a pot today. I'm not going to hide my screen. I'm just going to model it with you while we go, and then we'll talk about it later. I want to give you guys as much time as you can to work on your buildings. And so we're going to go through the potted plant because that's a good model if you have like decorations or plants that you want to put in your scene. Heck, some of you could even put this plant in your scene. But the idea is that we can get through that, talk about it a little bit, and then I am going to start modeling a building as well. And we're all going to work together this beautiful Friday. For me, it'll be well into the evening. For you, it'll be the afternoon. But that's our plan for today. And then we'll briefly check out your models. If you have any questions, let me know. Dove Soap, welcome. So hop on Canvas. We're going to model the potted palm tree. I'm going to add that beautiful picture to Canvas. I accidentally put it in concept. This is what we're modeling today. And for you guys watching, anyone else who might be watching, I'm going to put it on in here. This is our beautiful model today. So we're going to spend an hour on this. I'm going to talk about it while I'm working. You follow along or just go at your own pace. But we've done this. This is day 12 of these type of assignments. You've all become masters of 3D modeling. So you guys can probably teach me at this point. Jen, welcome. I'm gonna go a little bit crazy here. I'm gonna start with the pot. I'll just match it right up with my image. So I'm gonna go over the leaves with you guys. That's why I'm leaving my screen up. I'm gonna talk to you guys about how to do the leaves in just a moment. I think I'll make the pot, and then I think I'll actually, after I'm done with this pot, I'm gonna start looking at the textures we need to do this. So let's check this out. And also I'm a professional, that's why I'm eating red vines while I stream. A delicious American treat.
When Christina was a kid, her foster mother.
So 12 is kind of 20. That's kind of like a high subdivision count. I'm gonna make this low poly.
And now,
We'll just make it 12.
I want to know why she made my life so difficult. If she had some kind of thing against me.
I'm Jonathan Goldstein, and on episode 11 of Heavyweight, Christina asks her foster mother why she took away the one thing she loved. Tap to listen on Spotify.
Listening to. All right, here we go.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has
Here's our
never been
pot,
more important.
looking
When
good.
you
So
turn
it's
to
got that
Rocket
lip on
Mortgage,
top of
we
it.
can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic
Insert
lows.
an edge loop
so
here.
now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET.
Scale it
And if you
out
need
like
some extra
so.
money, a
Lovely.
cash
Add
out
another edge
refinance can
loop
give you that financial boost you're looking
right
for.
about here.
Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to
Scale this one in.
rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Oh, so good.
Equal housing lender.
And then
Licensed
we will
in all 50
just
states. MLS
snap it
number
up.
3030.
Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Nope, snapped it up too far.
Imagine this. Your favorite true crime podcast is playing. The host is about to reveal the identity of the killer, but just as the big moment arrives...
And we kind of did this with the
something
bucket
else
before, but
happens.
let's see. How do we want to do this?
With Spotify Premium, you'll never have to kill your fun again. With
So I
offline
imagine
listening
the
mode, you can save
inside
your
would
favorite
match.
podcasts for
No, the
data-free
inside might be
streaming
just clear.
anywhere,
Here, I'm going to
anytime.
extrude this
And
face.
you can try Premium free
So we'll
for
just
1
bring it
month.
in.
Tap the banner to learn more.
And then I am going to extrude it down, but only as far as I think that dirt will be. And I will just insert the dirt right on that. All right, so we're going to leave it here for a moment. I'm going to go to mesh display and soften the edges. So, and then harden the top edges so it doesn't look all weird. Select all these edges that I want to harden. Double clicking those edge loops. Mesh display harden edge. Now it looks like a potted plant, except for this bottom edge needs to be hardened. Harden edge. Boom. There's our pot. Boom, we're done. Okay, someone told me the leaves looks tricky, and I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna be tricky. So let's look at what kind of textures we need. We need the trunk texture, which doesn't, this is like a plastic one, I think, so it doesn't look incredibly palm tree-ish, but I'll find a young palm tree texture. We're gonna go to textures.com and look up all these. Then I need a prompt, these leaves, and then I need like this ball here, which is probably a thicker palm tree texture. We'll just see what kind of palm tree textures we have. So we need palm leaves, the trunk, the top piece, we need dirt in the pot, and then the pot. So that's 5 total textures. So let's crack open a web browser. We'll go to a little place I know called textures.com, formerly cgtextures.com. Now it's just textures. Yeah, it even actually says formerly CG Textures up at the top. What a coincidence. Yeah. Oh, it looks like they also have objects like that beautiful red. Okay, so let's look up palm. Oh, look at that. Palm bark, palm tree, palm trunk, palm tropical, palm wood, palm leaf. Palm leaf or palm leaves? Let's look up palm leaf. Let's see what we got. I'm pretty sure. Why didn't you not show me what I wanted? Oh, here we go. Palm leaves. Here we go. Let's look for the right one. I'm gonna go back to the front because it gave me some search options that I don't think it let me take advantage of. Palm leaf. There we go. Palm leaves. Okay, so I clicked palm leaf. There we go. It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. And it didn't help me out. Okay, so it's not this one. It's kind of like this one. It's like this one, but I want a better image. This one say. No, I need the whole thing, bro. That one could almost work. That one could almost work. I don't want to have to do any work though. This is a speed session. I don't want to do this much work. Oh, this one looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna try somewhere else. I'm gonna try Google. Palm leaf texture. Aha! This is the kind of image I'm looking for right there. That one looks pretty good. This one looks great. What is this? Net clip art. Palm leaf opacity. That one looks beautiful. Yeah, let's try. Will this one let me take it? No. Is that a full leaf? This one. Artificial? What do you got? Are you still thinking? This one looks pretty good. So what happens when I click on it? Country baskets. Oh, they want me to pay for it. No. Not gonna happen, bro. 20. Or is that transparent? Sorry for taking so long. I just want to find the right one. Let's look back at our image. What does that look like? Okay, that looks like... Does that look close enough? Free download. We'll try it. View clip art. If your download doesn't start, click here. All right, let's see what we got. All right, here's what we selected, and it's a PNG. Now, since we're doing this fast, typically we'd want this to be a target, but let's see what happens if we import this PNG. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna cut it. Downloads. Modeling. New folder. This is palm tree. In pot. I'm gonna paste my texture in there. We'll get back to our others, but let's open this one up in our Hypershade. So here is no, that's a box. I'm just gonna open up a plane here, move it off to the side. This is gonna be my leaf texture, just to give you guys an idea. So someone had said the leaves look kind of tricky. So let's give this a shot. So we're just grabbing this, we're just grabbing textures off of the internet, and it was free. We're not using this for a game or anything, so it's okay. And we're gonna go to our rendering editors, Hypershade. I'm 20 minutes in and I'm still just finding a leaf. Let's see. We'll just select Lambert from now. We'll grab our file. So we're gonna assign this file that we found. We'll see what happens. It's a PNG with a transparency, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Teaching 3D modeling, palm tree and pot. Here we go. There it is. Boom. Guess what? The PNG worked. We're gonna drag this. So we're gonna name this first. I'm gonna name this palm leaf. Okay. Now here's a trick. Here's how tricky the palm leaf could be. Is everybody ready for this? I want to make sure you're ready for this before I assign this. Gloria says yes. I have to make sure you're paying attention. Okay, so I'm going to middle mouse drag this over here onto this. Nothing happened. If I hit 6, boom, look at that. Look at that. Stretch it out a little bit. All right, so that's a texture with a transparent background. So we can keep this still very low poly by doing something crazy like deleting every other edge. Or I could adjust the texture map, but you know what? This looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna delete every other one of this one. And that's pretty low poly. I want it really low poly. I am going to collapse these ones. And then I am going to collapse these ones. Edging, oops, collapse, not split. To edging and collapse, there we go. Okay, so that's pretty darn low poly, right? So I'm going to show you guys another trick. Okay, before we get started on this. It is this is CG magic right here. So we have our palm frond here. So what I want to do is I want to bend it now. So I am going to go to vertice mode and select all of these. And under animation, actually we have these under modeling tools. We've got some, where are they? I thought they had some under the modeling. Curves, no. Maybe? Line surfaces, deform. Here we go, deform. We're gonna go under the deform tools. These used to be under animation, but they're so integral to just modeling that it kind of helps. So we've got here a blend shape, cluster, delta, lattice, wrap, shrink wrap, wire, wrinkle, non-linear. These are what I want to look at. These non-linear. So I have one called bend, and it will create this bend deformer. And I am going to snap this down here. I'm going to show you. It's kind of, this may take a little bit to look at. So I'm going to bend that down so it's parallel with this. And now over here on this bend, you'll see I have this curvature slot. I'm just going to drag that. And look at that. What? I can bend that leaf. Bend. This allows me to give it kind of the bend that you can kind of see in the image. And if I select it now, I want to bend that a little bit less. Before I bend it though, I feel like I should make a duplicate of it in case I just really mess this one up really bad. Now I've got a copy over there. So I'm gonna go to my curvature again and we'll bend it a little bit less. Now if I select the object and go to edit, delete all by type history, I'll actually remove that bend tool. Now I just have this leaf to play with. If I bring the pivot, hold down D and V, I can snap it down here, let go of V and move the pivot here to the base of the leaf. Now I can shrink it and rotate it and move it based on that. So there's my leaf. I'm just going to sit it off to the side for now. But while we're looking at those deformer tools, I want to show you a few more. I don't know that you'll ever really use these because honestly, if I wanted to just pretend bend this, I could have just done something like this and just moved the vertices around just as easily. But I wanted to show you that bend tool because essentially I can do the same stuff just eyeballing something simple like that. But those bend tools can be pretty handy. Here's another one I want to show you. Under that same category, under vertices, we're going to go to deform, linear, or non-linear, I mean, and we're going to choose twist. Same thing, it's placed vertical, so I have to select the deformer and move it down like that. But this is kind of cool. So look at this twist one. I have a start angle and a lower angle. So I can actually, let me hover over this. Come on, buddy. I can twist it around. Look at that. Kind of cool. Kind of cool if you're like making ropes or something like that. You can actually twist your objects as well. So that gives the whole thing like a nice little twist to it. I don't want that though. I want to keep that guy safe over there with me. I want to show you guys a couple other tools while we're here that you may want to look into. Really not necessary for everything you've learned thus far in the class is more than enough to create the buildings that you have. It's like I said, that gets you 80% of the way there. But you'll find that there are a lot of extra little tricks in Maya that you'll learn slowly over time. Okay, but let's go in now and let's collect my other textures. So I have the palm leaf. I need some more palm bark and some other ones. So I'm just gonna hop into my web browser again. And we'll go back over here. Hey, Kamakani, thanks for stopping by. We are going to go into browser. We're gonna look for some palm textures. So let's just call it palm bark and we'll just see what it comes up with. We've got a bunch. We've got some beauties in here. This kind of looks like that top frond piece, or even this one does. We just need a simple bark for the bottom. Honestly, this one kind of looks like it. But let's see. Does this give us any tileable textures? I want something tileable though, and this is not tileable. I want something that's straight across. We can find some tiles. This is a tileable one. This would work. What else? This one looks like it's tileable because it goes straight on both sides. We could use that one. Let's look back at our image again here. Kind of just looks like standard bark, but really for the sake of this project, we can improvise. We could improvise with a lot of these. So I'm just going to pick one that I think is close. This one would work for the top piece. If that doesn't look like it's tileable though. This one's pretty close. It's just gray. This is the one I think I'm going to use this for that top piece. Kind of looks like a pineapple. Might not look right. No, we're just going to try it out. I'm going to select that. Come on. Okay, we used it. We used one of our daily credits for that. Oh no, I still have 14 left for the day. So just use your cheap ones. JJ Lou says, are you guys making buildings? We're going to make buildings pretty soon. But right now we're doing a texture, speed texture. Okay, so what ones do I want to use? You know what? I'm just going to use this one. Maybe because it'll kind of look like that. And I'm okay with that. Looks very traditional palm tree. Okay, what else did I need? I needed just dark plastic. You just need like black, just plastic. I don't think that downloaded. Try again. Okay. Small. Spent my credit again. There it goes. Oh no, I hope I didn't do that twice. That's two different barks. See if I got the right one. Yeah, okay, that's both of them. I don't know how that top one's gonna work. JJ Lou, I like modeling class. You were really good in my modeling class, JJ Lou. Okay, so we have that. We need plastic now. We need like that black plastic from the pot. First, you have to be able to spell plastic correctly. That's the number one thing. We have 400 versions of this. Oh my goodness. And honestly, it's just something like that. But let's find something with a little texture to it. I mean, we could just color it flat black, but what fun is that? You know what? We'll just use one of these up here. How that'll look. Let's see. It's a PBR. It's just flat black. That's all it is. This is the normal map. There's no normal map. It's got a little, you know what? Well, whatever. Whatever. We're basically just downloading a 512 by 512 black texture. Okay, and now I think all we need now is the dirt. We have 4,200 versions so we can choose from. So this was just plain dirt with like some stuff growing off. No, we just actually want dirt. It's ground dirt, man. Why does that have to be so hard? So bricks, concrete, doors, floors, ground. Here we go. Ground textures, wood chip, ice, snow, wood chips. Nope. Nature, metal, man-made, plaster, roads, rock, roofing, rust, signs, soil. Should have chosen soil instead of dirt. So rough, mud, sand, cliff, cracked, beach, rough. Let's try rough. You know what? Oh nope, I didn't mean that one. We're just gonna pick one. We don't have time to goof around. This one will work. If it doesn't work, we'll survive. Okay. So we have all our textures now. We're 20 minutes into the speed model right now, and I've wasted all my time looking up textures. But we did apply one, right? So let's go back into our Hypershade. And let's hurry and create all these texture maps. So I'm going to do some of these as blends, though. Oh, well, we'll just do them as Lamberts. I'm just going to keep them easy for you guys. This is a condensed class. We're not going to get deep into PBR and all that stuff. Okay, let's grab this one. This will be dirt. Boom. This one will be bark. This one will be palm top. Was that it? And then we need the sixth one will be the pot color. We'll just call it pot color. Okay. And now I'm going to hurry and assign all these. So let me go into my downloads. This is where they're all hanging out. So there's all of these. There's the dirt, bark, and the other one. We're going to cut those. Let's look for my palm tree in pot. Paste all my textures in here. Okay, now we know where to look for them. Okay, this is the dirt. File, image. Dirt. Palm, plastic, soil, rough. Okay, so there's my dirt. Here is, oh, that's just my basic Lambert. So this is my bark. Oh, bark palm. One was it? This one. Boom. Done and done. And then my palm top. File. Images. Top. Here we go. Is this seamless? I don't know if this is even seamless. We're just going to go with it anyway. This is going to have an ugly seam on it. Yep, I can see the seam right there. I did not pick well, but we'll just put that seam in the back so nobody will be the wiser. Okay, so pot color. File. Like I say, I'd probably go back and choose a different one, but we're just doing our best. Polypropylene rough. Okay, so there's that one. So let's get to work here. So first I'm just gonna start texturing everything I can. So there's my pot. It now has color. This is what I want to color dirt though. So I'm gonna do this and then I'm going to apply it and then fix the UVs right away. And then the pot will pretty much be done. Time being for this speed texture. Sign material, boom, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's got dirt in it. And I could almost leave it just like that. UV editor. Here are my lovely UVs for my dirt. And let's just pretend I want it to be bigger. How does that look? Oh, okay. See if I roll that around. It moves the dirt around. Oh, and it's stretching some of my other textures. So I am going to UV automatic wrap. Why did that happen? That's weird. I'm not going to complain though. We're just going to roll with it. We have issues and we roll with it. So here's that piece. I don't know why it disconnected, but we're going to move and sew it. Oh, because I did not unwrap all of it. What? I didn't unwrap that? Is that what you're saying? What happened to you and why are you so angry? Accidentally grabbed something else? Huh. Okay, so we obviously have an issue here. Failure to communicate. Okay. That fix it? Yes, it did. Okay, so apparently I had extruded on accident. Move and sew, boom. Okay, now it's together. Okay, so there's my rocks. Interesting. Okay. Or sorry, my dirt. We got dirt in the bowl. And now let's create our tree. So I'm going to show you something kind of fun with the tree. You know what? I'm not going to show you something kind of fun. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to overcomplicate things for you guys. Okay, so let's we don't need a 20-sided polygon here. Let's this is low poly art, so we're just going to make it 5-sided cylinder. No, we'll go crazy and have it be a 6-sided cylinder. Kamakani49 says this is like magic. Well, thanks for stopping by, Kamakani. So this is going to be my tree. So I'll just make this column kind of big right now. And we might as well just unwrap it right now. Okay? So we are going to just put our material on it. And here is our palm bark here. So we'll slap that on and you can see it doesn't look Very good. Even grab these and soften the edges. See if that makes it look better. And no, it doesn't look that great. Does not look that great. So let's see what's going on in the UV editor. Click on my object. Can't even see my UVs. Oh, there they are. That's because this is just really small. I don't really care about the caps. In fact, I could just delete the bottom one, but I'm going to stretch this up all the way. So basically wraps around this whole thing. And it's a different look, but it's not bad. Okay, so there's my bark. It is legitimately a palm tree bark. It just doesn't match the one in the image. But now I'm going to make this match the image. So let's play around with it. Oops. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we want this curve that we see here. Okay, so we're just going to do this by hand. I'm just going to drag this one over. Squeeze it in a little bit. And grab this one. This is the top of the tree. Taper it in. And then I'm going to start adding some edge loops. Add one here. Split. And I'll just rotate it kind of the direction that I'm building this out. And I'm leaving these roughly where I create them so that I don't stretch the texture too much. It kind of pops out there. This is coming along. We'll add another edge loop here. Slide it over. Coming along, coming along. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple more. We're just gonna match this pretty close. Okay. We look at this in my normal view. You can see that's how it's kind of turning up. Now this matches this shape here. I have to use my imagination a little bit and imagine that it maybe bends a little bit in a different way from around the sides. So we might give it a little bit of like an S curve here, so it doesn't look perfectly flat and straight. Okay. Not too shabby. Okay, now we need this ball piece. I have to decide how I'm going to do that. Easy way, I guess, would be just to extrude this part, but then I'm going to have to unwrap something, which makes me sad every time. What happened to you? Oh, I extruded the whole thing. Okay, let's figure out how I'm going to do this. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to unwrap it. So extrude. Boom. We'll bring this up. We will just match it to our model. Kind of comes up to the top here. Keep that small. And we'll add some edge loops. There, kind of matching that shape. Insert edge loop. Over here. Whoop. One more over here, and this is low poly, so this will probably work pretty well. Actually, I want one more. No, that's fine. It's fine. Okay, so this section, didn't mean to go into that mode. It's computer access, so you can see that that's completely stretched. I need some UVs on this. So I'm going to test something out here. I'm going to grab all the faces. I'm going to try and do I'm just going to do something crazy and do a cylindrical unwrap. We'll see if it'll do a good job for me. UVs, cylindrical. Actually, it did pretty well. So there's my cylindrical unwrap. I'm just going to slide it over here. Because I can scale this down into that 1-to-1 space. And now I'm going to add the... because it was a cylindrical object, the cylindrical unwrap seemed to work pretty well. So now I want to add the different texture to this face. Window, rendering editors, Hypershade. Grabbed the wrong one. Window, rendering editors, Hypershade. There we go. And this was my palm top material. I don't know. I don't know that doesn't, okay. You know what? We're going to roll with it, my friends. We're going to roll with it. It looks kind of weird, but it doesn't like not match. So we'll see how it looks once I put my leaves on it though. So I'm going to select all these faces and we're going to soften the edges. So here's the deal. Here's what I was telling you guys before. And see how they kind of, I don't know. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. See, here's where the seams aren't great over here. We could go to our UV editor. Could probably stretch it. Oh, it's because they're weird. Look at, it's because of all my weird UVs. Let's go into my UVs and I'm gonna fix them a little bit. We're gonna straighten these out. It's those curves, they're weird. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit more even. And then we can even snap to grids. Which is up the way it's supposed to. Just perfect UVs now anyway. As close as we can get it. So there's some weird warping with this, but it kind of works, right? Okay, so let's try and cover up its ugliness with these palm leaves. So I'm gonna grab my palm leaves that we created over here, that we bent. And now what we can do, scale it down and we'll just shove it right in there. Bloop. Right into the, there. Perfect. And if we look at our image, I'm gonna scale this off to the side and make sure that this kind of matches the size of these, which they are much smaller. So they're more like that. Start building that out. And now we can just kind of start placing them. Should throw several of them in space. Just duplicating and rotating. You do. Each one's a little different. And just to make things easier, what we could do is we could now select 4 of them. Slide them up. I think I accidentally hit. I did. Hold on. Hit Control D twice. Keep rotating. And some are smaller than others, so just kind of offset some of them. So this takes a little time, but you can see it's kind of like magic. Actually, what I'm gonna grab all of them. Control G to group them. Control D to grab another group. Just move a whole bunch of them up. It's quick and easy. Okay, now just grab these individually and tweak them around. Just rapid, man. Rapid. They're in the wrong spot. We just move them back. Smaller on top. Okay. Obviously, I think there's a lot of tweaking to do on this. The bark, I could just change the color. In fact, watch this, okay? So here's that bark texture. I want it to look more like that. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to open up Photoshop. Which won't open on the right screen. Cancel. Okay, so here's my Photoshop. So I'm just going to open up Photoshop. Open. Grab that texture that I downloaded. Here's that. So we're just gonna we're gonna play around with this. So I'm just gonna create a new layer. And we're gonna fill it with a brown color. I'm gonna pick a brown color though. So we'll just select my swatches. Nope, not my swatches. Where's my color at? Patterns, options, layers, window, color. Why it disappeared on me. There it is. Okay, so we're just gonna find a brown color. Good enough, good enough. Okay, so we got our brown color. Edit, fill, foreground color. Boom, there's the brown. Now under the layers, I'm just gonna make that color. Change it to color. It's not brown enough. We'll just flatten it. At least that's more brown, but let's see what we can do. Edit, image, adjustments, hue and saturation. Let's try this. So we'll darken it up a little bit, like you do. We'll make it more brown. We'll force it. Saturation, purple, no. Pretty close. We'll darken it up even a little bit more. Okay, well, let's see if that is closer to what we wanted. So I'm gonna hit save, yes. So we saved it out. Yes. Okay, so in here now, I'm gonna reload that. Kind of upset that this didn't go into the pot. Oh, look at that, it reset. Okay, all right. So we changed the color in Photoshop. Not 100% that one, but sure looks closer, doesn't it? We changed the color around. Okay. So we just make those textures do whatever we want them to do. We are the master. We tell them what to do. Okay. And let's hide this. Okay, so we are about done with our speed model session for today. So we are just going to take a screenshot, post these up in Discord. And then we're going to take a look at your buildings today, and then we're going to start modeling. I'm going to start modeling a building along with you guys. I'm told the top, because this is a different color still. Do you want me to make this one darker too? So if you guys want to, if you want to see that one go darker, here's what we'll do. The top texture, I can tell some of you are really upset that that one is now not different. So we're going to grab that top one, and we're going to do the same thing because it seemed to work okay. So new layer. Edit, fill, foreground color, and we'll change this to color. No, if you guys don't think it looks good, I want to make you guys happy. I want to make everyone happy. I'm a people pleaser. So image, adjustments, hue and saturation. We are just going to darken it up a bit, like the other one. That seemed to work. All right, we're gonna hit OK, and we're gonna save. Boom. Boom, boom. Okay. Now, we just kind of, how did we end up switching that last time? Almost like I selected it and it just decided to. So let's grab, where is that, palm top? There we go. I selected the render image and it reset. So now it's darker. All is right with the world. We're matching our reference image a little bit closer. But that's okay. We could have just made our own thing too. Okay, so we'll take that, and we're just going to do a little snapshot. If we don't want to even have our grid in the scene, and we just want it to be just our tree, we can do that. So we're going to grab the snipping tool. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. And post this bad boy to Discord. Capture, this is a palm tree in a pot. Put it in our file, save. And that beautiful thing is going up on my fridge in my Discord. Kamakani says this is the first time thing. Well, welcome to 3D modeling. Okay, so if I actually wanted to put this in a game, you see how this is all separate pieces as well. Next thing I might do, I'm going to show my grid again. If I look at my outliner, these are all disparate pieces. What I would want to do is combine this all. So mesh, combine. And then I probably would end up holding down D and X and putting the pivot down at the bottom of the base. That way I can move it around my scene easily. We go edit, delete all by type. History. Now all that's left is my image plane and this file, which is perfect. So now I can import that into another scene and move it around. So I'm going to rename it to object underscore palm pot. A great name for it. Now I can duplicate these. I could shrink it down. I could rotate it. If I had two of them in front of my doorway in my scene, you know, I might turn one slightly this way so they don't look exactly the same. And they would go in front of my door, and maybe one's a little bit taller, you know. However you want to do it. But then you can do whatever you want with your pots. Your pots and plants. Plants and pots. Okay, file, port. Done. Okay, to all my my game students, here is the plan. I'm gonna give you guys. We're gonna give you guys 10 minutes to finish up and upload these to Discord. Then we'll take a look at them, and then we'll take a look at your project, your final model that you're working on, and then we'll spend the rest of the class modeling. I want to spend a lot of time for us to just work on our models. I'm gonna I'm gonna start working on my own building along with you guys, and so if you want to end up, I'm just gonna keep talking and like I normally do, so that if you see something that I do that you want to remember how to do it, you can look at the VOD on Twitch and scrub through it and do that. But I'm gonna be building building just like you guys are. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. I think it's because it's the end of the week and it's 11 p.m. and my eyes are getting red, but I'm here for you guys because I enjoy this. Okay, so I'll see you back here in a few minutes. I'm just gonna take a quick little break. You guys, after you get these posted, feel free to take a little break yourself.
Summer is open, and Lowe's is home for the 4th of July. This year, make your backyard the best place to be for the 4th, starting with the grill. Get the Charbroil 5-burner gas grill now, just $1.99. Then, fire up the eats and enjoy every bite outside with select patio furniture and outdoor decor, up to 15% off. Whatever you dream up for this 4th at home, visit Lowe's to make it the best it can be. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
You've got a great idea. You know it'll work, but nobody else believes in you. Would you open 19 credit cards to make it happen? Tito Beverage did, and now we're drinking Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's 100% corn and certified gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume or 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Imagine this. Your favorite true crime podcast is playing. The host is about to reveal the identity of the killer, but just as the big moment arrives, something else dies. Your cell service. With Spotify Premium, you'll never have to kill your fun again. With offline listening mode, you can save your fave podcasts for data-free streaming anywhere, anytime. And you can try Premium free for 1 month. Tap the banner to learn more.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back, my friends. Come back. Okay, someone wanted me to show them how to bend the leaves. Is that right? Bend the leaves, bend the leaves. Yes, yes, yes. We can bend. We can bend lots of stuff. Okay. Yeah, so let's bend the, you know what? Let's bend this whole plant. Okay. So if you want to bend something, select your object and then go to deform. Under the deform tool up here, nonlinear bend. Click on that bad boy and it'll give this like bend thing here. So you can rotate that any which way. But let's say we want to bend our plant. Let's go to our bend tool here. So where are you, bend tool? So bend tool is actually right here. But I'm gonna hit Control A to go to my attribute. Here's my bend. So the curvature is right here. Let me show you. You have some different options. The basic one will bend your, will bend it, right? Whoa, look at that. Yeah, we could bend it to full circle. Depends how much area it has on it. The other thing is like maybe we don't want to bend the bottom half, right? So we have a low bound and a high bound. So let's check our high bound out. So we can adjust that. Or here's the low bound. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the low bound up and let's see what happens. So we can curve just the top if we want. Adjust our low bound a little bit. So it doesn't curve the bottom. And then we could even grab the whole thing and bend it. Deform tools are pretty neat. You bend the whole pot. It's like reaching down. Hello, how are you? Okay. But yeah, that's the bend tool. Even if you wanted to twist this thing, right? So let's twist this tree. Curve or deform, nonlinear. We've got a bunch. We've got squash and stretch too. We'll do a few of these just for fun. Here we go. So let's try the twist. So we have twist handles. Let's select our start angle. You see we can twist it right around. What? Kind of weird. But yeah, we can twist this thing up around. It gets all twisty. Let's try a different one. Let's do a squash and stretch. See what that does. Linear, non-deform squash. Okay, what? I don't even know what this is going to do, but we're going to try. Expand. Nothing. Envelope. Nothing. We don't care. Smoothness, high bound, low bound. Start smoothness. Did I not select this? Because it's not doing anything. Let's try again. Maybe it's not going to do anything for us. Squash. Envelope, expand. Factor. There we go. Look at that. We can squash it. Boing, doing. It's like bouncing up and down. Squash. Squash. Squash and stretch. Squash and stretch. Okay. Enough of that. Okay, let's take a look at your goodies though. Save. Control save. Desktop. So I have that saved. We're going to look under Discord. Oh, these are awesome. Wow, you guys are pros. You guys have got this down. Okay. I am so impressed. Okay, let's look. Okay, so we've got our beautiful reference image right here. Here's the one I demoed in class. Gloria, nailed it. Awesome. You've got all different sides of it. Very good. And then Chaewon, this is great. I'm impressed. You guys did great. Only 2 of you submitted, but that's okay. Let's scroll up. Let's look at some of your progress. So Gloria's doing Minnie Mouse's house. This is looking really good. So I would say, so you've got like the chimney on the other side, but this is a good point to start bringing in the textures. So you can start, just look for like lap board or siding in CG Textures or even Google Maps to start to get that, like, you probably match that siding up perfectly. The shingles, I think, are just standard shingles. You would just color them pink. So if you notice, the same way I recolored the bark brown, you could color those pink in Photoshop. And then like the heart shapes on the front, those would just be modeled out, and you just use all those same textures, but very cool. Chaewon, this is that model from that you showed me the image of. It's looking like it's coming on really well. One of the things I wanted to see around the base though was the sidewalk and the grass to kind of make it set on a landscape. And this is the kind of thing you could bring in like your little palm tree and set decorate it a little bit. So really good job. So over the weekend, you're just going to continue modeling and texturing. So on Monday, I would hope on Monday we'd see most of the models kind of like finished or coming along. It's okay to have half and half textures, and we will just keep on growing from there. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay. I'm assuming it sounds great. So just keep working. I'll put an assignment up, and good job on all these. I'm going to... My plan now, we got a bunch of yeses, that's great. So my plan now is I'm gonna work on my final project as well. Jen says yes, okay, awesome. Just keep working on them and we'll give you updates. If you have questions over the week, let me know. Looks like that potted plant was really good. I mean, you got those all modeled and textured and completed within the hour. That is outstanding, I'm really impressed. Okay, let's look, I need to find a building to model now. So I want a brownstone building. I just want a simple brick building. So let's see what we've got here. These are all kind of complicated. They're all connected to other ones. It's kind of cool. Oh, here we go. What is this? Brisby Brownstone Suites? That one looks kind of cool. Brisby Brownstone Suites official site. Condo hotels in Brisby. If I could find some more pictures of it. One I started last year, and maybe I'll do it again, is Last Tenement. There was one in Boston. Here we go. This is one I started model. I might just finish this one. Realicus.com. Find some pictures of it. What I like about this one is it's a lot of repeated textures. It's got some changes up top and something I can do in a few days with you all. And there should be a lot of images on it. Well, what's this one? That one looks cool. I want to model that one. Oh, there's a lot of last houses standing. It's kind of cool. This one's cool. Last houses standing. Now I'm going down a Google rabbit hole. I kind of want to look up last house standing. Oh, that one's rad. What is this? Disappearing Island. Kind of really like this one. So these are old row houses. They ended up tearing down all of them, but there's always one left standing. Oh, this one's cute. I had a side view of it. It's kind of cool. All right, I think we're going to go with the Boston. The Boston last tenement standing. Because I can find more than one picture because I actually know the name of this one. So this is what I'm going to model, my friends. I am going to model this magical building. So I'm going to see really quick how many images I can collect of it. Very famous old building in Boston. So this looks like it has kind of like wood slats at the bottom. This is all brick. I like how it has these 3 different window designs going up. Save this image, modeling. New folder, last tenement standing. That's what we'll call it. We'll just call it last tenement. I'm going to select a new folder. We'll call this references. I'll start piling in my references here. Should take, a few minutes to find some references on this. Here's a better front view. I'm going to try and find the best front view I can. A nice, flat front view would be nice if I can find it. There's one. Oh, look at that one. Oh, look at that. That might do the trick. I think I can take this into Photoshop and straighten it out. This could be the winner for the front view. This one would even work too. No, I'm gonna save this. I don't think that's the ticket. I would like. That's the one we looked at. Here's one from the side. It's good to have a few side images. And do they have one of the other side? So it's got a sign on either side. Okay, good to know. All right, so I think we have enough images to get started. Are you guys ready for this party? Gonna get started. Okay. So I think I'm gonna open up Photoshop and open up one of those images. File, open. It's good to have good reference images. The one that I said front. My idea is I think I can fix this one to make my life easier in Photoshop. Or sorry, in... it's not a very good image. But all I really need to do is I want to make this so it is... that is a terrible image. Is that the best image I could get? Just a minute, folks. It's not good. That was not as good as I thought it was. Hold on. Another front shot. Maybe this one's better. Let's see. Pinterest. Of course you're on Pinterest. I want the full image. Don't cheat me. Come on. We'll see if this one has a better resolution to it. I kind of don't think. This is the one I selected. I guess that was kind of bad. Last tenement. Why such a small picture, dude? Come on, give me a... Oh, you know what? Here we go. So don't you love this? I'm just talking through all this. So let's look at... so I'm going to go up to my images. Tools. Usage, color size. I'm going to look for some large images. This one is a large image. There we go. Look at that. Maybe? Yes! Yes, this one will work. Okay. So we got a large image now. So what I want to do, let's see if I can do this, is going into Photoshop. At you. I need a front reference image that'll just make my life easier. File, open. Front. When I called it. Okay. Yeah, see that's at least it's a bigger image. So I'm going to go through here and select the whole thing. See if I can do this. And I'm going to go to edit, transform, perspective. We're going to see if we can fix the perspective. That is not fixing it for me. So let's try not using the perspective. Let's use edit, transform. Okay, so I should be able to stretch this side out. Straighten the whole thing out. So I'm going to grab, yep. Line tool so I can get my perspective right. Both of these sides. See, it's kind of skewed. So if I hold down control on these corners, I can stretch them out. I can even the whole thing out. So let's see. So that top is pretty good. These are pretty straight. Straight enough anyway. I think this could be down just a little bit. bottom is not very straight, so this needs to come down slightly. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've straightened it all out. That's gonna make my life easier in Maya. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna crop the whole image too, because I don't need it to be that large. Window view, I'm gonna clear my guides. Clear guides, okay. And this will give me the nice front view. Still not perfect though. It's still kind of crooked. I guess we'll just live with it though. It's fine. File, save. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna go back into Maya. Boom, start a new file. Scene, don't save. Save this as my new file. Last tenement. Last tenement. 001. So that's what I'm going to start with. Go into my good old side view. Image plane, import image. From there, I will select my last tenement, references, real front, bada bing, bada boom. This will be the foundation of my model. Okay, so class, I am right here with you. I'm right here with you modeling a building just like you are, right? What could possibly go wrong? All right, let's start with a cube, shall we? This is a rectangular building, I know that much. So something like that. And look at that, I have officially blocked out my entire building. It is now blocked out. All right, let's just get started. Let's just cruise, let's cruise on this. In just a minute, I'm gonna bring in some brick texture, but in the meantime, excuse me, we'll go into X-ray. We'll start blocking out some of the areas on here. So we have all these windows. Just gonna use the insert edge loop tool. Here's this awning that I can just extrude out. It goes about here. Since I centered this whole image, it made my life a lot easier. Here's where the windows start and stop. Here I've got these pieces that pop out. Same here. This one comes up here. I don't know what I'll do later on. I'll adjust those. Just gonna figure out where all my windows are. These little pieces, I think I might add these as separate objects, as well as these pieces that extrude out. Those will probably all be separate. For now, I'm just blocking them all. Notice these lines are nice and perfect now because of Photoshop helped me out. I'm gonna grab some textures and start putting some textures in just to see how fast I can start blocking it out. Give you a good idea of how maybe some different options for approaching it. So these are getting a little bit too busy for my liking. It's kind of starting to scare me. But these windows, select them all in. This'll actually start making my building look like a building right off the bat here, because I'm going to select these. I'm going to extrude them in. That's where I'm going to apply my window textures. And look at that. Oop, it's upside down. But already it's kind of starting to look like my building, right? Just for funsies, let's start doing some texturing. Oh, my friends. Let's put in these windows. Okay, so I'm gonna look for a window just like that. And there are like 4 different windows on here. But just to start with, I'm just gonna do them all as the same window, and we'll adjust it later. We're just trying to get this thing up and running as fast as we can. So I'm gonna pop open my good old, oh, you know what? Why don't I just steal one of these windows? It's gonna be low res, but why not, right? So let's pop open Photoshop again. Let's check this out. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna pick the one that looks. This one looks the most generic. If I go to this guy, this is gonna be really grainy, but it'll be a good start. It'll be a good start. So I'm gonna select the edge over to the corner. Gonna hit Control C, Control N to make a new layer, and enter. So, and a Control V. So here's my window. I'm just gonna save this out as a texture now. This will be my first texture for my last tenement building. If we go to the image size, I don't really care that much, but we might as well check it out. So it's 78 by 128. So if we wanted to make this more standard, we could do it in powers of 3. So what would that be? So if we unlock that, it should be unlocked 128. Oops. 128 by, what is that? 56? No, 128. What's half of 128? Power of 2 world. 96? I'm going to look up some power of 2s. Sizes. My brain, this late at night, I rely on the internet to tell me everything. So 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 would be 64. So if we change this, we'll make this just so it's an even number, 64 by 128, whatever. That'll work. That'll do. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna Control E to flatten that out. File, save as, we're gonna save it as a window texture under last tenement, textures folder. Just keeping everything nice and organized. And we'll call this window A. It's the first window I've made. Okay, so window A, boom. All right, let's plug this in here. Let's see what we can do in Maya. Okay, so we go into our hypershade. Eventually, I may want to put specular maps on this, so I'm gonna do a blend. And in fact, I may do I probably will. So I'm gonna do a specular blend. File, select my folder, last tenement, textures, window A. Where are you? Did you not save? What did that save as? JPEG, save as. Do I have to save it? Maybe. Oh, I put it in the wrong folder. Never mind. Okay, there it is. Window A, here we go. And really I should save that as a target, but I didn't. So sorry about that. I'm gonna select all these windows. And assign that texture. Da-da-da-da-da. 6. Oh, and look how terrible they look. That doesn't look right at all, does it? So let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's select all these faces. Go to UV editor. And that's why they look like hot garbage down here. So we're gonna go to UV auto unwrap. And there they are. There are all our textures. There are 2 UV. 2 UVs, there we go. 2 UVs, here we go. We're gonna slide it out. And you see they're all acting kind of funny on me. So I want to snap all these together. I want them all to overlap because it's easier that way. A couple ways I can do this. Easiest way, actually, I think would be just to snap them all to the grid. I'm going to hold down X and just snap them into place. And you'll see this window down here at the bottom. It'll look like a window now. So here's my first window right there. Interesting, right? So we got a window on our building. And now I have to do this to all of these because I've created a monster. I'm just going to set them right here. Let's do them one by one. Boom. Boom. Is there a faster way to do this? Yes, there is. Could show you.
There's crispy.
Then
Crispy.
it really doesn't matter though.
Try the
There is a faster way, but I might as well just do it this way. Fast.
crispy made crispy.
You've got a great idea. You know it'll work, but nobody else believes in you. Would you open 19 credit cards to make it happen? Tito Beverage did, and now we're drinking Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's 100% corn and certified gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume or 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
This year, Lowe's is your home for
It's worth the time.
If you're selling
Anything worth the time is.
you're bound to have more laundry to do.
So all these windows are becoming windows. And now the neat thing is if I ever replace the texture on any of these, it'll have, as long as I keep the window in the similar texture file size, they should be able to change pretty quick.
Wouldn't a matching set in a champagne color look nicer? Discover what's
Like I said, this is a placeholder window. I'm just trying to get the whole thing modeled out and then I will replace it. But I like to see things rapidly progress. It's the speed modeler and texture artist in me. I like to see progress. Progress City. And these low poly models are super fun because you're going to see the progress happen so fast. Okay. So took a couple minutes. That's okay. I could have automated it a little faster, but look at that. I got windows. My building has windows. Now I want to add a brick texture to it. We're going to get this thing ramped up really fast. Okay, so we got winders. Winders. You guys want to know how to say window in Utah? It's winder. It's not Utah, it's Hillbilly. Okay, here we go. So let's get a brick texture. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing moving and cruising. Okay, so we're gonna get it. So what we do is we start adding the textures and then decide, does this look good enough? Could we do better? And it escalates from there. Okay, so here was that soil. We are now gonna go to textures.com where I still have 12 whole credits and we're gonna look at some bricks. There's 560 bricks, it says. It seems like there should be more. Let's see what we have. Here we go. Ornamental. This one looks pretty cool. I want a photograph though. That one looks a little too rough. This one doesn't look too bad. That one doesn't look too bad. These all look like they could fit the last tenement. That one looks like it could. This one is a little bit old. How about you? What do you look like? I want something that isn't that large. Let's look at that last tenement again. Okay, so they're kind of like multicolored bricks. They have some outliers in it. Maybe I do want a little bit larger of a texture pattern. Let's see what we have here. That one, no. This one maybe. That one could work. That one is a little too rough. So this is the hardest part, just picking the bricks we want. That one's kind of cool. That one's cool. Okay, you know what? I think we're going to pick one that's close enough. I kind of like this one. We'll make it work. Play with it. So I'm just going to get the lowest one. 1014 by 1024. That is weird. That's a weird shape. Why not just make it equal? Assuming this is seamless. It says it's seamless. So anyway, we're just going to go with it. Awkward texture sizes, but what are you going to do? Folder. Slide it over here to here. It's tenement. Textures. Paste. And we're just going to call this brick A because that's a long name. Brick underscore A. Okay, so let's add that to my scene. We're gonna start knocking this thing out. We'll just start going down the line of everything we need to add to this. Okay, so brick. Go. This blend here, we're gonna rename that window. And we're gonna create a new blend. We're gonna call it brick. I'm gonna call it brick A because I think we're gonna have different bricks here eventually. Color, file, brick A, here we go. Got our brick A here, open. I don't know if this is the right brick texture, but it's a brick texture, so we're gonna go. Okay, so I don't want the windows to be textured, so I'm gonna grab everything but the windows. And we're gonna go shift, highlight over it, assign material. Look at those beautiful brick textures. I'm gonna go to UV's automatic map, and we're gonna automatic map this so that I can manipulate it myself. And it's messy because of all those extra lines in it. But luckily, it all stayed pretty uniform. Here's the front of my building. I'm gonna pull that out first. To UV shell. Bring this out, and then I'm gonna sew the rest of it onto it. Sew all the sides so they match up. Eventually, I'm gonna end up reducing all these extra edge loops because they look horrible. This way. Boom. Move and sew. Got that end on there. Move and sew. Got that end. And we'll just slide the back onto here too. Might as well. The top. I don't know. The top's going to have a different texture on it eventually. One of the things I need to adjust to, I'm going to add these all on, is I want the brick to wrap around this section of the window too, at least for now. So that means I've got to go into every one of these and move and sew these little guys. Not a huge deal. Hit G, I can redo that tool. Select all these. Plop them on there. Hitting G to reduce it. So you see the brick actually seamlessly goes up to the window. But you may be saying, but Professor, the bricks are way too big. To that, I would say you're not wrong. I don't even want the bottom of the building. That's too much to worry about. Sure, I'm not hitting anything I don't want to. The roof is going to be a different texture. It'd probably be like a gravel or something, because it seems like that's what's usually on top of those buildings. Okay, so now I'm going to grab these guys, the whole side of this thing, and we can scale it up. Right? We can make the brick smaller by scaling our texture map bigger and kind of looking at what the size of the actual bricks are in this building. We could look up at this image to see they're pretty small, and I think I have the wrong type of texture, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's like 15 bricks in between the windows. So if I look in between this window, right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there needs to be a lot more. So it's something like that. So we might just say, okay there. Okay there, it's starting to look like a building now, eh? Okay, just stop. For some reason, Maya doesn't want to unclick objects for me today. But there we go. So this is the start of our last tenement. Starting to come along. So now I think I want to start adding some additional pieces to it. Like, let's see, this stonework right here is pretty cool. We've got this edge right here with this ledge, these top pieces. So I've got to decide how I'm going to create those. And I think I might actually just model those as separate pieces and add them on. Because it's going to be a lot easier just to stick them right on. This type of piece looks like it's kind of like flush with the concrete, this header up here on top of the windows. So I might model that in up there, right here. For some reason I added one there. Oh, I added that for that top piece here. But these pieces I might start creating. So I think what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to try and do. I am going to use my create polygon tool for this. And I'm going to try and recreate this. This top piece here is really strange, but I'm just going to kind of fake it for now. So I am just going to go, how do I want to do this? Edit mesh. Been at this too long today, so I've been at it. Okay, there it is. Create polygon tool. We're just going to use this. You know, I'm just going to keep it simple. But here's the start of this piece for me. Hide my main building because it's getting in my way. Now, where is that? Okay. I am just going to draw in these guys. See how this goes. Let's create this here. I think this is going to work. I'm going to grab these edges, extrude, put up into position. Grab this one and extrude. Just reduce these. Can. Those, okay. So this is the start of this thing. So it looks like they all kind of come out. So here's what we're gonna do. Oh, we're gonna select this bad boy and we're gonna start by extruding it out. That. Then we're gonna grab the corresponding edges. Extrude those again. Grab this last one and extrude that. Kind of think that that's what they look like. And then I don't need all these back faces because it's going to sit flush on the building and we'll see how it looks. Just a moment, but that kind of builds out that shape. And because this is low poly, I kind of like to reduce as many polygons as I can. I won't be as stressed about your models, but for me, any edge loop that isn't doing anything for the overall shape, I try to reduce it down. Like if this is going to be a low poly building, let's make it low poly. Let's not goof. Gonna merge all these. Oh, not merge to center, just merge. And now that can just remain a quad like it should. Okay, there we go. So generally that looks okay. Oh, the bottom can be reduced too. Not by a ton, but it can be reduced. I'm actually okay with this. I mean, we could do something like that, but what's the point? I guess it is less polygons. Okay. So this is going to fit right on top of this window up here. So I need to give this just a concrete standard texture, and I could probably reuse that concrete several times over. So I'm going to unwrap this, but first I'm just going to go into old Google's and search up a texture map. Concrete or cement. Let's find it. I like photographs. Let's find a seamless one that kind of matches that. Old concrete. That one looks okay. That one's pretty cool. Might be able to use that for something else. We'll just use this generic one. Concrete textures. 1024 by 1024. It's huge. We can reduce it down to 512 by 512. No problem. Plus, we can always replace it as needed. Cut. Last tenement. And I'm just going to rename this to Concrete A because it's a smaller name. Just and it matches everything else I've done. Okay, so under Hypershade over here, under my blend, I'm going to create a new blend. Whether you guys use Blend or Lambert, whatever, I'm just probably going to add some normal map and specular to these. That's why I'm using Blend. You can always change out materials. File. Create a boom, bada bing, bada boom. I'll even name it concrete. All is right with the world. Oops, didn't mean to X that out. Okay, oops. Where'd you go, buddy? They're over here, huh? Let's drag and drop that onto that piece. Change the colors to kind of a concrete, dingy concrete looking stuff. Under the UV editor, you can see that it's not pretty. Terrible. It's not, actually not bad. But we're gonna just automatic unwrap. Bada bing, bada boom. Sew it together. I could probably just leave it like this. Like, really. Let's at least make it a little bit prettier. This thing together. So, moving so, moving so. At least make it look a little bit nicer. Top and bottom we might just leave. Where do you belong? So this whole bottom. It's not bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So that's not bad. At least now, it makes it easier to just grab the whole thing, scale it up and about, boot and a boot. Okay, so let's bring back our building, our last tenement. Display, show all. Boom. Oh, I can't see my precious. So now this little guy, modify center of the pivot. This little guy I can just slide out above that window, just kind of stick it on there. And later on I could extrude this edges, and I probably will, so they go further down. But now I can just duplicate it and slide one on each side. And as a low poly building, that's working pretty good. It's starting to flesh out pieces on this. If we're looking at the larger pieces, I want this awning now. Couple ways to do that. I could extrude this existing piece, but I kind of want to have less polygons here anyway. Might just delete this. Let's create it from scratch. I'll add some stuff when I need to. Now I'm just going to use a cube. And I will just delete edge of it. Oh no, I crashed. I crashed. Fatal error attempting to save in user temp app data local temp. I don't want it doing temp saves. Why did you even try to save it? And why was there a fatal error, Maya? So we're going to hit OK, and then I'm going to cry. I don't know if I saved. So this is a good lesson for you all. Save. I've never had as many fatal errors in Maya in like 10 years. This has been epic. So I know some of you, this has happened to you, and I just want you to know I feel your pain. I feel your pain, and it's happened to me too. So when this happens, it just means I have to redo what I did. And the bonus point is, I learned my lesson, right? Save often. It may, let's see if it gives me anything to reset. So I have a temp file here. Let's see how close that'll get me to happiness. I'm gonna select that. See what I can save. Might not be bad. So it's got the concrete on it. That means oh, look at that. Oh, so Maya, you did me all right. Look at, I didn't lose a thing. Okay, so I'm gonna hit File, Save As, make sure I dodged a bullet. My friends. Save this. 2. All right. Bullet dodged. Alex Cervantes says Maya crashed on you. Indeed it did. Control plus S. Thank you. Thank you, 3D Mentor. And thanks for the raid, I guess. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Mr. Mentor. Okay, so this is going to be the awning of our building. For those stopping by, we're keeping this very low poly and simple, but we're doing a model of this here building. Not as cool as the special building that 3D Mentor has been working on for the last 6 months. This is one I'm hoping to finish within the next 3 days. There absolutely is. I just don't like it. I don't like the automatic save. And this is just me and my personal issues. I went over it with my students. Automatic saves, when I worked at Disney, crashed more than anything else. And so I grew to really strongly dislike automatic saves. So I relied solely on good old Control S and saving revisions on my own. Partly is because I think it was because Maya was connected to our internal game engine. And they weren't very copacetic. Chill music, guys. Chill music. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I think this part right here, this is like an old concrete. That's what that is. That's like this old concrete ridged type of concrete with that window. And you can see that the whole thing recesses in a little bit. So I'm gonna recess that whole section and then add the doors and the windows to that. And then I'll find that type of a concrete slatted texture. Eventually we'll maybe put on these stickers and stuff. But we're going to just build up. We're going to start with the largest forms, the most recognizable pieces before we start going into the fine-tuning detail. We're going to start large and work our way down. Add your building next to the 3D Mentor stylized building. Someday I will. Yeah, so that 3D Mentor made the correct. So yeah, the autosaves, it would always happen during, while you're doing something complicated, and the whole thing would crash and we would not be able to get the files back, and I would cry. I would cry. So this section, I'm gonna extrude this in. I want to do it inside inside this section. Delete this one. It's not where. So this one, I'm going to create an edge loop and then bind some of this, collapse it, because I don't want. Insert edge loop tool. Working, not. Why do you dislike me, buddy? Some free floating. This again. Insert edge loop tool. Bada bing, bada boom. There. Bing boom. Alex Avantes says, Maya is sensitive. Yes, it is. Yeah, we're gonna, when I'm done with this, we're gonna put it next to the Mentor's model plan. Okay, so let's extrude this in. A little, you know, so you know that it's there. Delete all these extra goodies here. I don't. That stuff I will live with for now. Now let's hop into textures.com and see if I can't find a concrete pattern that kind of matches what's underneath it. Then we'll get some windows in there, and then we might call it a night, and then I'll pick it up over the weekend and do some recording while I model this. Say concrete bunker wall. That sounds cool. What's a bunker wall look like? Don't want that. Concrete new, leaking, dirty, damaged, bare. New for damage leaking mossy plate fence plates. What are plates? They're kinda. It's almost like cinder blocks, right? So these are starting to get some concrete designs on them.
Thanks for listening to Spot Guide.
Oh, thanks. I still need to finish that rocket model, though.
You could have listened to the radio. You could have
Appreciates
started
it.
some Bible. You could have
Plate's
played-
dirty.
You could have listened to an 8-track tape.
Oh, look at that. That's kind of what I'm looking for,
But you
but not exactly. Let's look at this again.
Thanks for that. And you still have hundreds more.
I don't know. I don't know if I can find that exact same texture. I might have to make something up on my own. But for now, maybe I'll just put in a temporary one.
Listening to Spotify. No, really.
So like this one, I might just do this one as a temporary. Yeah, I will.
You could have played a cassette tape. You could have listened to an 8-track tape. If you knew what an 8-track tape looked like. But you listened to Spotify. Thanks for that.
That will be my temporary.
You still have hundreds more playlists to enjoy.
Tenement folder. And we'll call this concrete plates. That's to call it. Temporary file. Okay, this building is coming along, my friends. Okay, let's see. Let's crack open our old render editor, our old Hypershade, as it were. And we're going to create a new blend. File. Concrete plates. Yeah, computer's all confused after that crash. You can always color these darker too. That's what we're going to call it. So here it is. Call this concrete plates A. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're going to select this. Chill tunes going. Assign material to selected. So they're a lot thinner. That's the beauty of tileable textures, is we can do whatever we want. So create. I'm even just gonna go automatic on these so that I can miss part of it. Okay, we can go into our UV editor, and manipulate these ourselves. Here we go. There they are right there, our little friends. Chill. Rotate this out. Boop, boop. And now let's try and make this look how we want it to. We'll scale them up. So if you look at these, they've got like several of these lines coming up. So we can at least kind of mimic that a little bit. We can always adjust this later. Something like that. We'll go ahead and call that a good start. So that is the start of those plates down at the bottom. Like I say, I think we can darken those a lot darker in Photoshop. In fact, I might do that now just so it looks closer to what. Little boxier in there than we want, but we can control our own party here. All right, my buddy Photoshop. Let's. How you doing, Photoshop? Doing good. Okay, good. Image adjustment. I am just going to darken this thing up. And I think what I might do is do a master layer over this. So this will be a master file. So I'm just going to create a new layer. Okay, and you know what? I just might overlay it with a solid gray. Just going to try this out. Solid gray. Edit. Oh my gosh. I keep clicking edit in Maya. Fill. Foreground color. Boom. We've got the solid gray, and I am just going to set it to multiply. It's kind of the easiest way for me to get a darker color. And then I might even fill that in with something a little bit darker. Okay, so this will create a darker texture for me. I'm going to save this as a Concrete Ale master file so that I can keep it going. So that I can always adjust this if I need it to in Photoshop. Save, and then I can hit okay, file, export. And I know it's kind of a big no-no to use JPEGs in these scenes, but I'm doing it anyway because this is a beginner class. Targas are more efficient. But for this one, I am just working with my students in Targas because we're taking it easy here. I've actually seen a lot of people use JPEGs lately in files. They're a bit larger. PNGs can be more acceptable, but who am I to argue? Who am I to argue? So let's put this in tenement textures. Concrete plates A. Save. Overwrite. Bada bing, bada boom. And we can close down this. And let's go. There we go. Back to our Hypershade. Now it's a darker color. That matches more closely what I'm seeing on the screen. We can always lighten those up later. With a specular map, we can get those kicking off a little bit of light too. But that'll work for now. So now we've got the door and the windows. Those are even recessed within these a little bit. And if we want to be really awesome, I could probably just steal the door and the window off of our reference image, even though it's not as high resolution. I can always make a better one later. Alex Cervantes says, if it works, if it works. Yes, if it works, it works. That's what I'm going with. So Alex, I'm teaching a 3-week condensed game asset course. So I'm trying to not be too nitpicky and just get them rapidly moving on the basics so that they can continue to grow. And Alex Judge, thanks for the follow. Okay. And I'm probably going to go for about 10 more minutes. This is the end of the week for me, and I've been staying up really late. Yeah, it's a 3-week course. So the first one they did was a low poly character. They did a low poly character, and now they're doing a low poly building for their final assignment. Roughly about a week, a little over a week on each one. So not a lot of time. So we're learning how to move rapidly because time is of the essence. Some lights underneath there. See that? Okay, and this is where there's a front step here. So I'm going to select the door. Oh, I think I'm going to crash again. I knew it. I knew I would crash. I could feel it. I could feel it in my guts. Do I teach with Ryan? I don't know who you're talking about, Alex. Are you talking about 3D Mentor, or are you talking about Ryan Do? Look at that. Crashy crash. Now, yeah, I do. I teach with him. Now, we got all the... This is my night. This is the way my night's going. Now, is lightning going to strike twice? Am I going to get my file back twice? Save frequently and save often, my friends. I actually think my desktop is about to like kick the bucket on me. And my brain is about to shut off too. I apologize to my class. You get me teaching late to where my brain is foggy. I'm going to try and restore what I had. We'll see what happens. All right, Maya, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for me? Here we go. Here we go. Are you going to be nice? Alex, can you explain to me why Maya crashes? Alex Judge, we're going red vines. Because Alex, I think if you can explain why Maya crashes, I think you win like the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know which one's the better, Alex. I think you guys need to battle it out. What do we have? Let's see. Let's see. Oh boy. I don't think I lost anything. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do another save as. Come on. Are you going to crash? You're saving now? Okay. Save back into my system. This is going to be last tenement 003. Always save versions. Wrong one. All right, last tenement 003. Alex Judge says you've barely had Blender crash. Awesome. Okay. So looking at my model, that door goes pretty high, doesn't it? So it kind of looks like this door goes all the way up to the edge. It's a tall door. Or the door just goes to here and has a bar in it, and then this might be like glass or something. Either way, I'm going to extrude that whole thing. Okay, don't crash on me, Maya. I'm your friend, not your enemy. Here's the winder. Okay, we got it. You guys ready for this? Don't crash on me, Meyer. Extrude face. All right. No crash on me. I think we might pull that out later because it looks like there's like a step right there. Out. Okay. We lucked out. I'm gonna hit Control S. Control S. We just saved. Okay. So before I shut down for the night and we start again tomorrow, I want to at least add a door and a window down here to make it at least feel like I've made some progress in the last hour. TV Wally, welcome. So I'm going to go cheap on this. I'm going to take my real front texture, just like we did here. Zoom out on this. There we go. Control D, we're going to deselect that. We're just going to still this door. And it's going to have this light, so I'm going to undo that. But we're just going to still this stuff. There's some weird sign there. Okay, let's zoom in on this. Window or winder. Okay. Control C. Control N. Enter. Control V. There's our window. It's going to be low res. I'm okay with that. Okay, and if I really want to like make this straighten it out, I could do an edit, free transform, hold down control, and I can tweak some of this a little bit. Get match a little bit more, or it might just mess it up. Whatevs.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm a left-hand turn single. Tink, tink, tink. The guy in front
Yeah,
of me.
we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so there's our window. It's gonna be temporary, but we're gonna
You gonna try to pass on the left
call this bottom window. So we'll do a save as.
weight insurance? Things could really take a turn for the worse.
Save it as a JPEG, just because. And we'll just call this window B. We'll just start calling them by different names. Save, bada bing, bada boom. And while we're at it, why don't we just chop off the door as well?
Hands often. Monitor your health. Use the inside of your elbow to cough and sneeze. Wear a cloth face cover when around others. Keep 6 feet between yourself and others.
Huh.
Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily. The best way forward.
Go outside. We'll go outside further, and then I'll tweak it again too. Long, weird piece.
Habits at Lysol.com.
Summer is open, and Lowe's is home for the 4th of July. This year, make your backyard the best place to be for the 4th.
And same thing. So I am just going to,
Till now, just $1.99.
let's just use the,
Enjoy
use the patch tool on this, I guess.
patio furniture and outdoor
We got this light hanging out up here. Don't really want it. Boom. We'll just make it. We'll just do a quick and dirty cleanup job on it.
valid through 7/8 while supplies last. So
And you know what? Just for kicks, we could straighten this out. We could just leave it like this and just with the UVs fix it. But nah, let's free transform it. This I'm 90% sure we're gonna just replace, but we'll just get it going best we can for now. Okay, file, save as. And who knows, maybe we won't. Maybe we just don't care. And maybe we'll find that this is good enough for our game. A material ID? I'm not sure what you mean by material ID. Okay, so there's our door. We're gonna hop in here. We're gonna at least get those tacked on before we continue. Later on, you see we have a lot of lines here. We don't need all that. We'll do cleanup later, but we were just trying to get this to fill at least a little bit closer to this before I crash for the night. And just hit Control S. And we're going to create a couple more blends. Blend. One of these we're going to call Door A. One of these we're going to call Window B. We are going to add some color to Window B. File. Here we go, my friends. Textures, Window B. And the door, might as well pop this into, might as well do the door too. While we're at it, so we don't have to worry about it. File. Go. Why did I say door B? It's weird. It's weird. We didn't do a door A, but we did a door B. And we will just go file, boom, 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 paste this in here. Assign material, and you can see it looks like hot garbage right now. That's okay. We'll unhot garbage it. This is Window B. Assign material, boom. You can see that one looks like hot garbage as well. That's because we need to do a new unwrap of that. So we're going to UV automatic, boom. Now it's closer, but it's facing the wrong way. Go to my UV editor. See what kind of, see what we're cooking with here. To shell. Oh my gosh, just stop. Just stop, buddy. There we go. To UV shell. And I want to get this out of the way. Basically what we have to do is just fit it in one of these boxes. Oops. This little guy. So I'm going to hold down J and snap it. And we want to keep it uniform. But I think I can just eyeball this pretty close. So we're going to do it to the height, width, this window. And is that upside down? I can't tell. Yeah, that's upside down. So that little thing up there was on the bottom, not the top. Hold down J again. Rotate it around. The easy thing would be to actually delete these extra UV edges, and then I could just snap the whole thing on. But that is more work than I'm willing to put in. I'm going to eyeball it. This one I can now just snap myself. Down X, snap, boom, boom. Snap the sides too, just so everything is complete. Space, okay. Okay, so now we have the bottom window here. And let's add the door while we're at it. Gonna be a lot of stretching here, it's okay. Okay, UV auto unwrap. Actually, what bothers me is this whole brick thing is just, why do I have it to where it's in the way here? I can just move the whole thing down so that it's, oh no, I grabbed the windows too. I didn't mean to. Where are my windows at? Are they hanging out over here? That's a hot mess. Don't want the windows. Let's leave the windows alone. Okay, there we go. Now I can just scroll the whole thing away. So that's out of my way. You're in my way, dude. Okay, so now let's auto wrap these again. Boom, 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 boom. UV automatic to magic. Now we're going to do the same thing we did. Same thing we did with the door though. Or sorry, the other window. Just going to stretch it across. Eyeball it as close as we can. And we'll snap the last little bit to it. Okay. You crash, not my. I'm about to crash, my friends. Okay. So now we have. So we're starting to get the last tenement. For those of you watching, this is an old townhome in the middle of Boston that used to be part of a whole row of tenements or these low-income housing in the city, and they tore them all down except for this last one. So it's this cool little old tenement building in the middle of Boston, and they call it the last tenement standing. And they've kept it. It's historic. It's like a historic house now, and it's pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to be modeling the next couple days. Control S to save. Okay, so to all of my my students, hopefully you found this helpful as I go through the process of building out the building, as you go forward and build all of yours. If you can't find, like if your reference images, you want to find as high quality like window and brick and all those as you can. So I use these as placeholders off of my image, but really, if you go to textures.com, I could probably click on windows and doors and find something similar to that. Like look at these. Here's a whole selection of different windows, old windows, broken down windows that are really high resolution that I could cut and probably find higher res windows, and these are all free to use. So here's some other cool ones. So if you can't find some high res, like do your best. I think you pretty much can find them anywhere. But here's gads of options I could use as well. And there's like thousands of them. You can refine your search as well. Pretty much anything you need for this project, you could probably find on textures.com. And like I said, they're free to use, so you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for them. But I will probably end up replacing a lot of the windows and doors with higher resolution images from here. So I can at least get like a 512 by 512 or a 256 by 512. That would have twice the resolution as this would. But for all intents and purposes, this is starting to get the feel of the building, so I'm okay with it. All right, so I am going to sign off for tonight. I'll be around for a little bit. I need to update some of the assignments. I'll put in an update assignment to show off your modeling and texturing work so we can give a critique on Monday's class. And then, like I said, we only have 3 more classes. So you want to be self-motivated to keep modeling and texturing your assignments over the weekend. I have a lot of stuff going on with my family, but I will do my best to hop on over the weekend to at least do a little bit more progress on this. But if I don't, rewatch the VODs or the videos if you get stuck or need some ideas, or you can email me and ask questions. Dove Soap, you're awesome. I think you're all doing really well. You all kicked butt on that speed modeling assignment earlier. And so I think you're in good shape. Let me know if you need anything. And with that, I bid you all a fond adieu. Have an excellent evening. All right, Gloria, we'll see you next week.